साबिर भाई बोलते हैं ठीक है, अगर तुमको नहीं परवड़ता है तो आई विल गो टू दी अदर रिक्शा वाला. He asks him, he also says no. He says, I am belonging to other sector and I won't like to be here only in this sector. So please see the other one. वो थर्ड वाले को जाके पूछते हैं, तो थर्ड वाला भी ना बोलता है. By the time after attending the very peaceful Bhagavad Gita class, Sabir Bhai, who is very calm and peaceful as he comes down, after seeing the state of this three rickshaw wala, when he reaches the fourth one and he also says no, तो साबिर भाई का पारा तो ऊपर चढ़ना ही चढ़ना है. एंड ही आस्क्स, तो फिर किधर दुबई चलेगा? एंड व्हेन ही सेज दैट, आशा मैडम समहाउ गेट्स दैट इंस्टिंक्शन कि साबिर भाई को क्लास अटेंड करने के 10 मिनट के अंदर ही गुस्सा आ गया है. तो जितनी बातें उन्होंने बताई थी वो सब खत्म हो गई. तो ऐसा इंसान जो उसको एब्जॉर्ब ना कर सके, स्टिमुलेंट्स को कर्ब ना कर सके, उसके सामने बताने के लिए आपने बता तो दिया, लेकिन क्या उसने उसको बराबर से एप्लीकेशन में रखने के लिए सारे स्टेप्स लिए? अगर साबिर भाई ने हकीकत में उसको समझा होता तो पूरे के पूरे 10 रिक्शा वाले जो लाइन में खड़े थे उनको पूछने के बाद में वो तसल्ली कर लेते कि लेट मी गो वॉकिंग टू माय होम, टुडे इज नॉट माय डे विथ रिक्शा वाला. दैट्स वेयर द knowledge of Bhagavad Gita would have helped me, or Hatha Pradipika would have helped me, isn't it? And there is another example. Now, Sabir Bhai, a very novice in the learning of yoga, after attending a beautiful session of lecture about yoga, he is ready to go home again, and he takes a rickshaw. He gets somehow, and as he is sitting in that rickshaw, he tells that rickshaw wala, अरे तेरे को मालूम है, today in my yoga class I had an opportunity to listen to a beautiful lecture. It was so good, you know. I would really like to share it with you. Now rickshaw wala and you had interest in yoga, that's why you were attending the session, and rickshaw wala may be or may not be interested in your understanding what you have learned. By the time you are keeping on dictating the things that you have understood to rickshawala, in his mind the rickshawala is saying, अरे यार क्या सरदर्द है, किसको बिठा लिया, कौन मिल गया आज सुबह सुबह, I don't know when I will get rid of him, when he will reach home and when I will get my money and I will run away from him. ये मेरे लिए सरदर्द हो गया यार, चुप बैठता नहीं है, बात बड़बड़ 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 करता जा रहा है. मुझे क्या लेना देना इसने हठ योग में क्या सीखा, भगवत गीता में क्या सीखा. मेरे लिए मेरा पैसा मिल जाए, मेरे रोजी रोटी मिल जाए, उतना ही काफी है. अब साबिर भाई का उसके साथ में इस तरह से शेयरिंग करना, जहां पर बिला वजह सामने वाले को कुछ एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं है आपसे और आप उसके सामने बड़बड़ किए जा रहे हो. साबिर भाई की एनर्जी तो गई, लेकिन वो सामने वाले ने एक्सेप्ट नहीं की और वो कहीं ना कहीं जाकर वो वेस्ट हो गई. ऐसे वेस्टेड एनर्जी से क्या होता है, यू लूज व्हाट यू हैव एक्वायर्ड. दैट्स व्हाट दिस shloka would like to make it very clear for us. Now, this is how I have understood this teaching of Swatmaramji. I hope you all also can derive some other meaning out of it. If I would ask Ashutosh sir, okay, how you will take it with this shloka, sir? How you will go ahead with that?
Yeah. See, if I start, as you said rightly, without rhyme or reason, I start sharing my knowledge of Hatha Yoga with others, it means that I am trying to again build up my ego and telling him that, fellow, I am better than you, I know more than you, I am more powerful than you, so you better listen to me. So instead of actually making use of yoga, I am destroying whatever I have learned. In that sense, I take it. And I have seen this happen with many people who are teachers of such knowledge, that they want to parade their knowledge, if I may use the word.
True.
They parade their knowledge.
Yes, yes, very much. They want to show how much they know.
Right. So
yes, yes. Any other views along with sir?
Sir has completed?
Yeah.
Okay. So another way perhaps to put it is that we must teach only by invitation.
Yeah. True. Or at least invite, and those interested will come to you with that invitation. As Sunil bhai says, कि we should be sharing our knowledge when we are invited to do so. But at the same time, if you say that I want to share this knowledge, people having similar interest can surely contact. And when you make yourself available for the same, those people who do not want to understand the subject, they will not be approaching to you. But at least those who are really interested, and they feel, yes, this is the way I will be able to connect myself, and this invitation is like a blessing for me, certainly they will approach you. I come across your news and I would really like to know what you are going to do there. So this is where the interaction between the two will happen and the flow of the knowledge will take place. Otherwise, it will be a waste of, you can say, the understanding as well as grasping. Yes. Jay Kumar, you want to share something?
Yeah, actually, this is it's between two people's intellect, you know. If you are talking something about a physical aspect to a you know, a pre-class children, a higher idea of knowledge means you're the electricity is transmitting this way and that way. If you're talking, just talking to a preschool children, they doesn't understand, you know. They say, oh hell, you have to go somewhere, you know. This is happened to me as well. If I'm talking to this thing to my father and mother, they don't understand nothing, you know. I can talk and I'm become, you know, some kind of you know, yeah, how can I say, I don't have words to explain this thing, because they are in a different stage of intellect, you know. They can understand through stories. If you yeah, like Ramayana, you know, Rama, Lakshman, and you know, Sita did these things, and they achieved these things. They can understand through some stories. But if I'm talking about supreme super consciousness and consciousness, they will say, you know, bad words to me only, because they cannot understand. So if that people who deserve this knowledge, we can talk to them, then only we will also get some idea, you know.
Yes. In
Otherwise,
fact, you will be happy.
yes, you'll be happy. And you know, it's you know, it's in my opinion, the four caste system is four class of people. Brahmins means, you know, according to me, the higher intellectual people. Higher intellect means, it doesn't mean you have to invent something. You have to invent electricity or, you know, these things. Now, this is people thinks higher intellect means people still thinks they have to do something, you know, scientific. No, nah, it doesn't mean like that. You know, you have to understand the God is a, it's like one pointedness. My Swamiji always says one pointedness. You know, if you focus on one thing, you should not see any other things around it to you, you know. This is the same thing to you know, once archery competition between all students, you know, Arjuna only sees that bird, you know. Other people says they see branches, they see tree trunk, and you know, he says I only can see that parrot or bird, you know. This is the thing, you know. I couldn't explain the whole things in my, you know, through English. If I can explain these things in my language, I can explain, you know, more. But
I got it.
this thing I understood it from my home, you know. When I left ashram and came to my home, and I was discussing, I was trying to share my, you know, ideas with my parents. They are my parents. I was born with them, but the distinction between their you know, ideas and my ideas are extremely different. So you should not better you should not discuss with these things to you know, people who doesn't understand this idea. Otherwise,
Who doesn't value it?
they will put in mental hospital, because this is many places it's happened. you know, because they cannot understand or they cannot digest these ideas, you know.
True.
You know, in their view, God is pathar, you know, like yeah, a stone, which if I'm going there and if I put some money, you know, you will get blessings. Then it doesn't need, you know, any good behavior or you know, it doesn't need any good things, you know. If you put money, you will get blessings. This is the way, you know, some people think so. If you discuss
Yes.
this idea to them, then our time,
True.
everything is
True.
wasted.
True. Anyone
Jaykumar is
would like
saying,
to add to it? Yeah.
Jaykumar is saying that Sunil ji has put all of us into the mental hospital. Are you Jaykumar? Is that...
Very true. Very true. So he is making us, means like-minded people come together and accept it very nicely. That is where we are going ahead together.
right.
So this is how we are connecting and going ahead. Anyways, we will start with the next shloka, that is the number 12. After understanding this concept and learning and grasping and understanding it, we will go ahead and try to understand the place of settlement of a yogi. Now, here we need to understand a common man in difference with the yogi. Here he is giving us the details of a hatha yogi who, after learning from his guru, goes to a proper isolated place and does his practice. But what are the things that he has to take note of and take care of? So when we come to this shloka number 12, it starts with Surajye dharmike deshe subhikshe nirupadrave धनुः प्रमाण पर्यंतम शीला अग्नि जल वर्जिते एकांते मठिका मध्ये स्थातव्यम हठ योगिना. Surajye, a very righteous country where the dharma is followed, where the ruler is proper, better, who is taking care of the praja, and all the dharmas as well as the, I will say, dharmike deshe means everyone is concerned and have the knowledge about their own duty, and where every section of the society is gelling nicely and going ahead peacefully. Subhikshe, where the alms are easily available, means the people also understand that he is a yogi who has come for the asking of the alms, and he is not asking for money as such, but he is asking for some to sustain himself, and that should be easily available. Subhikshe, nirupadrave. When we say upadrava, it is some or the other kind of difficulty, terrorism, or something like that. So that place should be free from any kind of upadrav or the terrorized activities. Surajye 1, Dharmike Deshe 2, Subhikshe 3, Nirupadrave 4. After explaining these four things, he goes ahead and says, Dhanuhu Pramana Paryantam. He is making it very clear in front of us. Okay, we have to manage a kind of distance from what? Shila, Agni, Jal, Varjite. This place where that yogi is going to sit and start with his sadhana, he need to keep himself away. Now, when he says dhanuhu, one dhanu is of 4 hasta. When I say 4 hasta, our teacher explained us, okay, 1 hasta is from the tip of your finger to the elbow joint. That is almost like, 1.5 feet, you can say, or maybe at around 15 to 16 inches. And 4 hasta means it is almost like 1 meter to 1/4 of the meter. 1.25 मीटर जैसे हम कहते हैं, 1.25 मीटर से 1.5 मीटर पकड़ लो आप. So this kind of distance should be maintained from Shila, that means stones, boulders, which may cause any kind of difficulty in your sadhana. पत्थरों से दूर. Agni, आग से दूर, जल इवन पानी से उतना दूर होना चाहिए, यानी 1.5 मीटर का फासला होना चाहिए. दैट काइंड ऑफ डिस्टेंस शुड बी मेंटेन व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विथ योर साधना. अब ये जब आग की बात आती है तो वहां पर आप दिमाग में रखिए कि इट कैन बी इवन द what you can say the stove, the chulha, where the yogi may at times as per the requirement cook his food and eat, but at the same time during his sadhana he should sit away from that place at least 1.5 meter. Our teacher, I still remember, while explaining this statement, said that this means that even in our yoga center or the place where we are practicing, it should be understood that it is mandatory that you have at least this 1 meter to 1.5 meter distance between the two practitioners. नहीं तो otherwise we see in today's scenario in the studios as well as in the yoga institutes and classes wherever the practical yoga is happening, they are clustered very close to each other, hardly 1 feet distance between the two mats is maintained and people are practicing. So you may say, Are Sabirji, here it is said Shila, Agni, Jal, and from this we have to be away. You know what Sarji said? He said, you have a body which is made up of the Panch Mahabhutas. And this Panch Mahabhuta consists of these three. In fact, when we say Shila, Agni, Jala, I would say that Vayu is not mentioned because it is prevailing everywhere. Akash is not mentioned because it is prevailing everywhere. So you may be having Vayu and Akash in your body, but at the same time, the physical solid body is in the form of Shila, Agni, and Jala. So try to maintain that distance in your yoga class from the other person, at least 1 meter to 1.25 or 1.5 distance between the two individuals. Is it possible in today's scenario in the city like us that we are living in Bangalore or in Mumbai or in Delhi or in any other crowded place? Will it be possible for us to maintain that? It is very difficult. But at the same time, here he has mentioned this clear understanding ke how we should be going ahead with this distance. Dhanuhu pramana paryantam. After making us understand that how that country, that place, that locality should be, where the dharma is flowing, where the you are getting the alms in an easy manner, there is no any kind of upadrav prevailing over there, and he tells that you should be sitting away from such kind of impediments which can cause disturbance in your sadhana. Dhanuhu pramana paryantam. And then in the last statement he says ekante mathika madhye. Now we have to understand here the meaning of ekanta. कभी कभी हम हमारे रूटीन भाषा में एकांत और अकेला एक ही समझते हैं. एक अकेले के दिमाग में बहुत कुछ चलता रहता है, लेकिन एक एकांत का जब सही मायना समझा जाए और एक्सपीरियंस किया जाए तो एक्चुअली बहुत सुकून मिलता है. अकेला इंसान एकांत में रह के भी सुकून में नहीं रहता, लेकिन यहां पर एकांत का मतलब यह हुआ कि मेंटली यू आर टोटली एट पीस. सो एकांते मठिका मध्ये स्थातव्यम हठ योगिना. The person or the hatha yogi who is about to do this practice should go ahead and do this kind of arrangement and do the practice. अब ये सब समझाने के बाद when he makes it very clear to all of us in the English version of this translation by Kaivalya Dham, a hatha yogi should reside in a solitude in a righteous country where the government is benign and alms are easily available, in which free from all kinds of disturbances is observed, in a small cottage built in a place having no rock, fire, or water up to 4 cubits. 4 cubits, cubits is nothing but hasta on any side. That means from all the sides you should maintain that distance and do the practice. I will come to Ashutosh sir again. Sir, what is your version of understanding this Dhanuhu Praman? Please unmute.
So Dhanu Pramana to me would mean the bow, no? Dhanu is bow. So I think the extent to which you stretch the bow would be
Yes.
one Dhanu Pramanam.
Now I have come across the same explanation from one of the other teacher. The other teacher said, okay, when you have a bow and when the string is pulling the arrow, and as the arrow is shot, the extent to the tip of the arrow goes ahead and drops. That is the distance that you should maintain, the distance from all these things. That was his version.
Oh, I see.
That was his version.
Okay.
But the other teacher refuted it. He said that Dhanuhu Praman is 4 hasta, 4 hasta, that is 4 cubits. And that is what is written here in Kaivaladham explanation also, 4 cubits
Right.
distance. And 4 cubit distance is very less for an arrow to be shot and dropped.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
we have to take it according to our understanding. At least we have to maintain a proper distance from the disturbances, so that during our sadhana such kind of things are not becoming an impediment in our process.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when this is explained, we have the 13th shloka, which is giving the description about the hut or the matha. As here he says, ekante mathika madhye statavyam, where we have to get settled. Let us try to understand the description of the hut, or you can say matha. Alpadwaram arandhra garta vivaram na ati uccha nichayatam samyog गोमयस अंध्रलिप्तममलम निशेष जंतु जिज्ञतम बाह्ये मंडप वेदिक उपरि चीरम प्राकार संवेष्टितम प्रोक्तम योग मठस्य लक्षणम इदम सिद्धैहि हठ अभ्यास बिहि. Now, how well he has described that matha of a hatha yogi. Alpadwaram, the entrance should be smaller. Arandhra garta vivaram, there should not be any kind of other holes or passages in that unit. It should neither be too high nor too low. Na ati uccha nichayatam, neither it should be higher nor it should be less in the height. Besmeared with thick layer of cow dung. Samyak, Gomaya, Andralipta Mamalam. He is making us very clear here कि गोबर से पूरा लिपा हुआ होना चाहिए, whether it is the floor or whether it is the wall of that hut. What kind of wall it may be made up of only ghas, poos, or you can say the bamboo sticks and all. In every place we have different, in forest and all we have always seen. Even if we go to an Adivasi locality, we can see their hut over there made up of all the jungle material, how they make it. Even that has to be covered, besmeared with cow dung. It should be clean. It should be free from all insects. Now, scientifically, it has been understood and proved that the cow dung itself repels insect. Cow dung has that property in it that it will keep the surrounding clean, healthy, and the insects won't enter into the locality. So, free from all insects, there should be a beautifully laid canopied platform outside the hut in front, wherein the aspirant can sit and do his sadhana if required under that canopied platform. And he again goes ahead and tells us that a well in the compound outside, which should be enclosed by a wall. एक बावड़ी, एक वेल उस कंपाउंड में होना चाहिए जो वेल प्रोटेक्टेड है, ताकि बाहर से किसी जंगली जानवर या कोई भी जानवर का अंदर आके आपकी साधना में किसी भी प्रकार का हस्तक्षेप ना करे. There should not be any kind of interference in your practice over there. So such kind of understanding about the house or the matha or the hut of a hatha yogi is to be had there. अब यहां पर वो रुकते नहीं है. If you come across the 14th and the 15th one as well as the 16th one, we will be coming across, he is telling us, I have explained you about the country, about the place where you should sit, how you should be keeping yourself safe from the impediments. Even the hut that you are going to sit in that meditating position or whatever practice you are going to do, it should be of this kind of nature, this kind of built up. And as he explains all this in the श्लोक नंबर 14, he says, एवं विधे मठे स्थित्वा सर्व चिंता विवर्जितः गुरुपदिष्ट मार्गेण योगमेव सदा अभ्यसेत. एवं विधे मठे स्थित्वा, जैसे मैंने बताया उस तरह के वातावरण में, उस मठ में, उस सराउंडिंग में बैठकर चिंता वर्जितः विवर्जितः, सारे चिंताओं से मुक्त होकर गुरु के मार्गदर्शन में जैसे आपने विद्या को हासिल किया, उसको दिमाग में रखते हुए अपने योग का अभ्यास शुरू करो. This is the way he goes ahead and tells us that a yogi has to do that. But we are all common people. We cannot enjoy such kind of leisure that a yogi can have. For him, it may be a leisure. For us, this in a concrete jungle that we are living in, we cannot have this kind of facilities or this kind of observations. But maybe we are not having this. We should accustom to what is available and continue with our sadhana as and where possible in the best way. और ऐसे बताने के बाद स्वात्माराम जी हमारे सामने ये दो श्लोक रखते हैं. The one is related to बाधक तत्व, the first one, and the sadhak tattva, the next one. It is 11:33, but at the same time, as far as possible, we will cover it and keep the last 5 minutes to 6 minutes for the discussion. He mentions these 6 factors which can bring about the downfall of a yogi who is already in the sadhana. If that practitioner is not observing these 6 factors, he may succumb to non-success. Okay, now what is that? Atya ahara, prayasascha, prajalpo, niyamagraha. The ati in all these 4 factors. What are these 4 factors? Ahara, prayasa, prajalpa, niyama. Ahar means diet. Ati ahar is not good. Prayas, over exertion or over effort or putting in more effort is not the right way to go ahead. प्रजल्प, ज्यादा बातें करना, बहुत ज्यादा मतलब बेकार की बातें करना या फुजूल की बातें करना. The talk should be only essential talk, necessary words should be spoken and other things should be avoided. He is making it very clear here. A value is coming to us. Niyamagraha, even strict rules or following of strict niyamas, over strictness is also not good, he says. जैसे कि मैं अगर आपको एक एग्जांपल दे दूं, हमारे देश में हम कई ऋतुओं का सामना करते हैं. वर्षा भी है, ग्रीष्म भी है, ठंडी भी है. हाँ, ये सब ऋतुओं से जब हम गुजरते हैं, अगर आप सुबह उठकर साधना करने से पहले एक अच्छा शॉवर लेकर साधना करने के आदी हो, and during the cold days also or during the winter season also, if you are trying to take the same normal water bath, is it that the water is normal? Then you will feel thoda sa warm water lena chahiye so that I will feel okay. But now sometimes the yogi becomes over disciplined, and that over discipline makes him nahi. गुरु जी ने कहा है कि सादे पानी से स्नान करके साधना के लिए बैठना है, और वो सादा पानी हमारे बॉडी टेम्परेचर से अगर कभी कम होता है तो वो हमारे नसों पर किस प्रकार का इफेक्ट लाकर हमें वल्नरेबल बना देता है, ये भी जानना जरूरी हो जाता है. तो वहां पर अगर कभी आप उसी प्रकार का ठंडा पानी उस सर्दी में अगर नहाकर अपने आप को वही अप्रोच में लाने की कोशिश में है, तो यू मे बी डूइंग इनजस्टिस टू योरसेल्फ. नाउ दिस इज वेयर वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड अति नियम. अति आहार से तो आप बली भांति अंडरस्टूड है कि ज्यादा खाना तकलीफ दे है, ज्यादा प्रयास करना, एक्सर्शन कर देंगे, जल्दी थक जाएंगे, आगे काम नहीं कर पाएंगे। ज्यादा बातें करना, सी व्हेन अ पर्सन इज फिजिकली एक्टिव, he may be losing some energy, no doubt, but at the person when he is active more with his speech, like we teachers, when I find myself giving 3 lectures in Somaiya college, after those regular 3 to 4 lectures, I feel I have done for the day. Within 3.5 to 4 hours, I feel like now I don't want to work anymore, I don't want to talk at all. If anybody is asking me any question, I will tell that person tomorrow. That is the kind of the state that we are entering into. So that is very clearly understood कि यहां पर आपका धर्म है, आपका कर्म है, और आप कर रहे हो, फिर भी आप थक रहे हो। अगर आप फुजूल में, बेकार में अगर कभी आप बातों में लग जाएंगे, तो इट इज गोइंग टू ब्रिंग द डाउनफॉल ऑफ द प्रोसेस ऑफ योग. But he goes ahead and adds 2 more. Janasangascha laulyam cha shadbhir yogo vinashyati. Janasanga, contact with people or too many contacts. आज व्हाट्सएप का जमाना है, फेसबुक का जमाना है. पीपल वांट टू सी देयर मैसेजेस बीइंग लाइक्ड विद दैट थम्स अप मोर एंड मोर. यानी हमारी कितनी आसक्ति बढ़ गई है इन सब चीजों की तरफ. सुबह सुबह उठते बराबर भगवान का नाम लेने से पहले हम व्हाट्सएप चालू करके देखते हैं कि किसका मैसेज आया. अब वो पता नहीं किसको किसको दुख होता होगा. ईश्वर को तो जरूर दुख होता है कि हमने उसका मैसेज नहीं लिया, लेकिन व्हाट्सएप पे किसके किसके मैसेज आए शायद उसमें अटक जाते हैं. तो ये किस लिए हुआ? क्योंकि वी आर सो मच फैंसीड अबाउट दिस थॉट बीइंग इनटू द कॉन्टैक्ट with the people, which is bringing this kind of vulnerability to the process of yoga itself. It is a hindrance. It is going to bring the downfall in this. So here he talks about the 5th factor, janasangascha, too much contact or over contact with people, or being in public more, with the public contact, always like to be in the limelight, always like to be in the crowd, which is not advised for a yogi, for a yoga practitioner. He should remain aloof from all the attractions of the material worldliness and try to behave and flow in the thing. अब यहां पर तो इन्होंने खाली जनसंघर्ष कहा, लेकिन अगर कभी आप अगर कभी अगला श्लोक देखेंगे तो वहां पर जनसंघ परित्याग की बात हुई है. He is not only talking about lessening the contact with the people, but he is telling you to become rid of the every contact that you are having around you. But that is next. Here the 6th factor is been told as laulyam, that is the fickleness of the mind. Fickleness, चंचलता, मन की चंचलता. और हम कहां इस चंचलता को महसूस नहीं करते? हर जगह पर, हर माहौल में. And this is what brings us to a state of anxiety, fear, or you can say many other kind of disturbances, frustrations. So these are the 6 factors: ati ahar, ati prayas, ati prajalpa, ati niyama, ati, you can say janasanga or janasanga, and at the same time laulyam, that is the fickleness of the mind. Shadbhir yogo vinashyati. This will lead you to the destruction of the success or approach that you are trying to have in the process or the path of yoga. As he says this, these are the factors which are responsible or will matter for the downfall. He talks about the factors which are going to bring us to the next stage, and that is utsahat, sahasat, dhairyat, tattvagyanat cha nishchayat, janasanga parityagat, shadbhir yogoho prasidhyati. With the shlok recited and said, I will stop here because it is 11:40, and I will give 5 minutes to all of us to have a short, small discussion so that we can still go ahead and understand the subject to a great. The next 6 things which are going to always take us ahead on the path of yoga to our success in yoga is going to be discussed next week along with the other factors. So here we will stop. Would like to know your views about these things, friends. Sunil bhai.
See, just like जो I just saw again the importance of context. Right? We see here in this text also, and which is just the right thing to do always, is that before we propound anything significant, it's important that we uska आगा और पाछा, उसका surrounding चीज समझना बहुत जरूरी है.
बहुत जरूरी है.
तो वो दोनों ही टेक्स्ट में ये चीज पे पहले गौर किया गया है, before proceeding to with the message.
True.
ये कोई ख्याल है.
Yes. Any other view?
Sabir bhai, as you mentioned last time,
हाँ.
Swatmaranji's purpose was to bring together different traditions of Hatha Yoga. So I think those 33 names that he has taken shows that he has brought together a lot of traditions into this Pradipika. But I wanted to ask you whether these Nathpanthi sadhus who come for Kumbh and others, are they Hatha Yogis?
Yes.
Can they be called Hatha
They are
Yogis?
Hatha Yogis.
But then they are smoking that chilam and other things.
Yeah.
How does that fit in?
Now that is something which is coming to as an understanding to all of us. This chillum which contains in it the intoxicants which makes your mind sedated. अब ये sedation की उनको क्या जरूरत है? Whether they are addicted to that or whether they are using to it in another way. Let us leave it to them first. But at the same time, when I asked this same question to my revered sir Niranjan Gogia ji, who was teaching this science of Hatha Yoga, he told, Sabir bhai, ये जो साधु संत थे वो भी इंसान थे कहीं ना कहीं. उनके अंदर भी जैसे आप में और मुझ में ये प्रकृति का प्रकोप है, उसी तरह से सत्व रज तम उनके अंदर भी अपने अपने फैक्टर से, उनके प्रारब्ध कर्म से वो डोमिनेंट रहता था. लेकिन उनके दिमाग में एक ही बात थी, नॉट टू लेट एनी अदर थॉट टू डिस्टर्ब अस, डिस्ट्रैक्ट अस और डिविएट अस. सो नॉट टू लेट अदर थॉट, वो थॉट को कर्ब करने के लिए कहीं ना कहीं दे वांटेड टू मेक देयर माइंड स्लाइटली सीडेटेड सो दैट दे बिकम फोकस्ड इन व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, व्हिच दे कैन इजीली मैनेज देमसेल्फ इन दैट रूट. तो इसीलिए शायद वो इस प्रकार के सिडेटिव्स, जैसे हम कह सकते हैं कि गांजा, चरस जैसी इंटॉक्सिकेंट्स का इस्तेमाल करके वो अपने आप को उसमें संभाले रखते थे. तो दिस वाज वन व्यू एंड देयर मे बी अदर व्यूज आल्सो, बिकॉज नॉट ओनली दैट आई विल ब्रिंग अबाउट द एग्जांपल ऑफ श्री गजानन महाराज. He used to have, even if you go, yes, he used to have that chillum, and we can see so many photographs of him having that chillum in his hand and smoking it. So why that? It is said that he used to go through that kind of chillum, smoking that intoxicant, only to keep himself not get infatuated or not get distracted by the people who used to come to him to get the guidance for so many things. उनके वाइब्स से अपने आप को दूर रखने के लिए he used to go through that. But I used to doubt, if a person who has already attained sainthood, if a person who has come to this kind of calibrity, what is the reason that he or she may be needing it? But yes, this was the always explanation coming to us. There may be some deeper understanding to the same which we yet to know. And if there is anything any person would have with respect to that, I would be really glad to know that too.
But the modern proponents of
Sir,
yoga.
sir, my apologies, sir. We've kind of reached time.
We have this time. It is 11:45.
Yeah.
So we will hear Ashutosh sir, and we will wind up with one Omkar.
So we have the prayer too. Okay.
Yes, of course. Okay, fine. Sir is saying stop here.
Let us please, sir. We will address that at the beginning of the next lecture, if that is Sabir bhai okay with you.
Yes, very much.
Please. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnamudachyate मुच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेव अवशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति